Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. This bloom video is featuring a gorgeous Zygopetalum type orchid. This is one I bought from Brookside December of 2022. So I've had this particular orchid for 1 year and 1 month, almost exactly. And this is her first blooming for me, and I have just fallen in love with this orchid. And she's a good size with good size flowers. So let's take a closer look at the tag here. This is the Zygopetalum Debbie de Mello Honolulu baby, crossed with Aganisia cyanea. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm also trying to start putting tag information on who I purchased it from, because some of the tags come and they don't say who I got it from. So I have BS for Brookside and 1222, and it looks like this one was maybe started up a year and a half earlier by Brookside, or whoever the growers was, April of 21, right there. So you can see the coloring I find to be very spectacular, a lot more unique than a lot of my other zygos so far. I've got quite a bit of zygos that are young and growing, and hopefully will bloom in the next year. A good chunk of those young ones are from Sunset Valley Orchids, who is located here in Vista, and I live nearby, so it's just real easy for me to stop by and get some of their newer offerings. But they had a whole bunch of Zygopetalum hybrids for sale, and I went and I got, gosh, let's see, 2, 4, 6, I think 7 new young Zygopetalum plants. But again, this one is from Brookside Orchids, and I'm always seeing this Debbie de Mello name in a good amount of hybrids lately. So I'm really glad I have a hybrid of this one. That is Buddy coming to say hi, or Bernie, also known as Bernie. He's wandering around as I try to film this. So this one came as a very healthy specimen. It arrived with these 2 mature pseudobulbs, this one and this one, and it had a new growth. So the new growth was fairly advanced, so almost a 3 pseudobulb growth. It matured really quickly. So I repotted it in a pot about about this size, half the size of the pot it's in now. And that was within a couple months of purchasing it. As this pseudobulb got bigger and thickened, it was like right on the edge. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of space. So then over the course of this last year, it also then grew this whole pseudobulb. So I grew this full one under my care, and then this started, the new growth, which has bloomed now, started coming out, I'm gonna say about 5-6 months ago. And so I repotted this one not too long ago, because look how it has spread out. It's like doubled in size in a year's time. So November, I repotted it November of 2023 in this bigger setup. So it's gonna be a good size zygo. If this is what it does, like doubles in size in 1 year, I can only imagine what it might continue to do and reach specimen size. And I could not be more thrilled with the prospect of that. So I highly recommend this one. Let me check the fragrance again. It's a little lighter in the evening, and this is we're in like 7 o'clock at night my time. during the day, the fragrance is a little stronger, but it's got a real light, spicy, muted, herby smell. So it's not a super sweet one so far that I've picked up. Zygopetalums tend to be very fragrant, and they can go from a very spicy form of fragrance to a very sweet form of fragrance. This one I would classify it more on the spicy side, but a very muted version. So nothing offensive. So very enjoyable in my opinion. It's not going to like overtake a room. It's not going to compete with other fragrances. It's very humbly emitting its own fragrance and just lovely. So just focusing a little bit more, but I really appreciate everyone's time taking a look at this, and give it a thumbs up if you think she's a beauty. And if you're interested in it and you see it for sale, I would highly recommend. Easy to grow. I've been growing this one indoors this whole time. All the rest of my Zygopetalums are outside on my back patio. But this one I kept indoors. It was doing so well. Zygos tend to be able to handle, you know, a good full range of temperatures from very warm to pretty cold. So that's why the majority of my collection for Zygopetalum types is out on the patio. And I've gotten so many more blooms because I moved them outside. This one has only been growing indoors in my back grow room near my Oncidiums. And so intermediate temperatures only. So, and it bloomed beautifully. So it must be something in the hybrid part of it that promotes that. So I think I'm going to continue to grow this one indoors. I feel confident it's establishing well in its new pot. Part of the reason I was just keeping it inside. You know, when I get newer plants, I like to try to make sure they're pretty stable before I would just put them out on my patio. Anything out on my patio, I feel I've invested enough indoor time in growing them to make sure, again, that they're stable to go outside and brave the elements, which can happen here in Southern California, even though we don't have all the horrible weather that's been going with all the freezing temperatures around the United States. So, but otherwise, yeah, I've been fertilizing this twice a month at minimum. I water, now that we're in winter, every week to 10 days. In the summertime, I was definitely watering at least once a week. Zygopetalums can be very thirsty. This one actually did not grow under grow lights. It's getting kind of an indirect light from my ceiling grow lights in my grow room. If you want to see what that looks like, you can look at my videos I've posted on my Oncidium collection and how the grow lights are. This one was growing to the left of those grow lights where my Oncidiums are lined up on a top metal shelving. So it got, I'm sure, benefits of indirect grow lights, but it mostly is just in a southwestern exposure window. And at times during the day, as the sun is going past the window, it would get scattered direct, very scattered, very indirect direct. These leaves are not very thick, so Zygopetalums could burn really easy in any direct light. So there's a tree that also filters the light outdoors in my backyard. You know, the sun is always, no matter what time you're at a certain angle, that it's not pounding light into that southwest window. So I would call it very like medium, indirect, dappled direct. I decided to quick run into the grow room and show you her growing spot. But you can also see this positioning of these ceiling grow lights that my husband helped me with. But her position and growing in the southwestern exposure window, she has been growing right here. And so here's the window. I have some other Miltagias, and Odontonia right here, Cymbidium seedling back here. This is a Zygonesia. So actually I do have one other small zygo seedling that I'm trying to grow indoors. So I was wrong. She's not the only one growing indoors for zygo. Other smaller Neophonetia types and Vanda types. Another Cymbidium right here, and a very sad, struggling Cattleya I'm trying to nurse along. So that's her growing spot. Lighting. And yay! I get this beautiful show. I look forward to this continuing to grow and give me even more flowers. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions on care. Please give it a thumbs up if you're liking this. Helps me know what to post for content. And yeah, thank you again so much. Hope you have a great rest of your day.